Where did I go? There I am. Okay. Hello, beautiful people. We have some news to talk about today. I just woke up. I just posted a quick recap of all the stuff I've seen so far on free agency. It's not an exhaustive list, but we have plenty to talk about. I'm going to open up my X account right now so that we don't miss anything, any breaking news. It'll be right here. It's going to be right here to the side. Uh, but there was some shocking stuff happened already. For me, the most exciting was Alec Pierce is staying as an Indianapolis Colt. He signed a massive deal, a lot bigger than I thought he was going to get. But you know what? Good for him. He got a deal worth over $100 million, 116 million across 4 years. Massive signing for the Indianapolis Colts. I really like Alec Pierce. I think he's really developed as a player these last couple of years, and I'm glad to see him back in Indianapolis. Now, however, the unfortunate kind of flip side of that is that the Colts traded Michael Pittman Jr. And Michael Pittman Jr. is another guy that I really liked for the Colts. I thought he was a fun player to watch. And of course, they traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right as I had recovered from Max Crosby going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I now have to, or to the Baltimore Ravens, I now have to deal with Michael Pittman Jr. going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's unfortunate. Let's look at a few other signings that we've got here so far. 49ers signing Mike Evans. That was a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million. That's going to take some getting used to. Mike Evans is another guy who I've got a ton of respect for as a player. Loved him with the Buccaneers. I'm sure, Kyle Shanahan's a fantastic coach, so I'm sure they're going to do amazing things with him in San Francisco, but it's just going to be odd to look at Mike Evans in a 49ers jersey. Travis Kelce is returning to the Chiefs. I don't think there was really much doubt about that. There was some doubt about that. Really big signing. Tyler Linderbaum, top offensive lineman in this free agency class. He is going to the Raiders, and that's something I talked about last week with, Fernando Mendoza coming in. You've got Jackson Powers-Johnson moving over to guard. Bring in Tyler Linderbaum, protect Fernando Mendoza. That seems to be the plan they're going with. I think that's a solid move, and he got a pretty good contract. That was one of the ones I posted. If we can pull that up real quick here, but I thought that was a fantastic move by the Raiders, who have a ton of cap space. That is awesome. That is awesome for them. Chiefs signing Kenneth Walker III. That scares me. Kenneth Walker III is a fantastic player. Having him with Patrick Mahomes is not something that I want, obviously. And then the Panthers signed Jalen Phillips to a 4-year, $120 million contract, I believe. It was a massive contract. Very hard to compete with that. I thought Howie Roseman was going to get it done, but this is one of the few times Howie Roseman's actually lost out on a player that he wanted. Let's see here. I got that one posted as well. Truss and Stan are also both working behind the scenes to make sure we don't miss anything. Yeah, 4-year, $120 million deal for Jalen Phillips. And then, of course, Malik Willis is now the quarterback in Miami on a 3-year, I want to say $67 million deal. A little bit less than I thought he would get. Unfortunately, we did lose defensive end Joseph Asai, who signed a 3-year, $36 million deal with the Jets. But good for him. I really like Joseph Asai. I think he has a ton of untapped potential. I was hoping the Bengals would be able to bring him back on a somewhat cheap deal. That's kind of in that number's kind of in the area of I don't know if I would have paid that because it's still on potential, and I don't know that the Bengals can afford to keep paying people on potential, but that's where we're at. So we're gonna hang out here for the next 2-ish hours, 2.5 hours, just me and you, and we're gonna talk, we're gonna react, we're gonna see what happens in the NFL during that time. Feel free to leave any comments. I want to talk to you guys. I want to hang out with you guys. And we'll discuss whatever you want to discuss. This is your show. And we will see where the night takes us. Browns signed guard Zion Johnson to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal. They needed O-line. They needed offensive line bad. So that's a good deal for them that they were able to get that done. I wish the Bengals were a bit more active in free agency right now. They haven't done anything, but at least so now it's being reported that Joseph Asai agreed to a 2-year, $22.49 million deal. That's interesting. I don't know what he actually agreed to. They changed it. But Devin Lloyd and Brian Cook are both still on the list of free agents. So hopefully we still have a chance to get those guys. They're not taken yet. Trey Hendrickson is still out there. Odafe Owe is another one who's still out there. I know the Chargers wanted to bring him back. John Franklin Myers is still out there. Kyler Murray's still out there. Still a ton of huge names. Jaquan Brisker from the Bears. David Onyemata, who I believe the Bengals were targeting, ended up going to the Jets. Rasheed Walker is still out there. Tariq Woolen, who, I like Tariq Woolen, but he's not, I think he's a little bit overhyped, unfortunately. Nick Cross is still out there. We have some huge names. Leo Chanel, who's another guy I could see the Bengals targeting. We have big names out there. Let me know where you think. Oh, we got something. John Franklin Myers. I just said his name. John Franklin Myers plans to sign with the Titans for 3 years, $63 million, $42 million guaranteed. Wow. Okay. So John Franklin Myers was fantastic for the Broncos. He had a pretty good market, it sounded like. I know that the Jets were talking about bringing him back. There were some Bengals fans who were interested in him. He's 29 years old, so a little bit older, but hey, he's shown off this year. I think that the Titans need leaders on their team right now. They don't have a ton of leaders on their roster. And so getting John Franklin Myers, who finished the 2025 season with 7.5 sacks, before that year before that, he had 7 sacks. I think that's the type of team Robert Saleh wants to have. He wants to build up a roster that is going to, have these leaders, have these strong players, and it wouldn't be just Jeffrey Simmons, because that's who it's been forever. Just Jeffrey Simmons doing all the work. And now they've got a very, very good edge rusher in John Franklin Myers. Okay, so let's get that one on Instagram. What are our thoughts on that? Do we have thoughts on John Franklin Myers heading to the Tennessee Titans? 3 years, $63 million deal for Mr. Myers. That's a big name off the board. We're just getting started too. Okay. Get that online. I keep getting notifications, and I don't know if it's something new or if uh it's not. It's just the NFL has to make like 30 posts for each guy that gets signed. Well, good for the Titans. That'll be big for them. Tua's still out there. Tua got released earlier this morning. If you missed that. So John Franklin Myers. But here are the three guys that I'm really waiting for. That I am, hopefully we see them go to the Bengals today. Devin Lloyd, linebacker. Uh, Brian Cook, DB from the Chiefs, which the Chiefs have kind of been rehashing their entire defense. They traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams, and then Jalen Watson also went to the Rams. So, the Rams now have two guys that are used to playing together in the Kansas City backfield. So that's going to be good for them. And then Leo Chenal is another guy who, if we can't get Devin Lloyd, I hope we at least get Leo Chenal. He's played pretty much everywhere on defense. I think he's an Al Golden type guy. I like him. Let's bring him in. So those are my kind of big three that I'd like to see. But right now, we've got Colts are signing, not a huge signing. Colts are signing former Titan standout edge Arden Key to a 2-year deal worth up to $20 million. So not a huge signing, but Giants are signing Tremaine Edmonds to a 3-year, $36 million deal, though. That's something. So we've got three signings that just came through. The John Franklin Myers signing being the biggest of the three. Let's see here. John. See, this is what happens when you're a one man show. One day I'll be able to pay someone to do this for me, but today is not that day. So, let's see here. 3-year, $63 million deal. Wow. What a guy. I think I'm only going to do this for the really big names because this is taking forever and it's weird. Let's see here. What do we think about Tremaine Edmonds? Tremaine Edmonds had gotten released earlier in the season. I believe I'm thinking of the right linebacker. And he's going to the Giants. So John Harbaugh's been active today as well. He also got Isaiah Likely, his former tight end in Baltimore. And now they just came through that the Chargers are signing Charlie Kolar, another former tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. He is going to the Chargers. So John to Jim, right? So he's moving on. Okay, we're done with this. This is not cooperating the way that I want it to, but that's okay. We'll be okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we're getting a lot of players who Robert Saleh and Brian Dable are familiar with in Tennessee. So John Franklin Myers was with the Jets before I believe he was traded to the Broncos. And then they also signed Jermaine Johnson, who was with the Jets. And then a lot of uh, somewhat large signings, or not a lot of large signings, but decent signings on the offensive side of the ball are people that have been associated with Brian Dable. So the biggest signing they've had on that side of the ball is Wayndale Robinson, former Giants wide receiver. They also signed tight end Daniel Bellinger. And then quarterback Mitch Trubisky, who Brian Dable was with in Buffalo. So there's a ton of familiarity there. Clearly, players that they liked, they want to bring back. They have the money to bring them back, so why not? Um, get some leaders on that team. Maybe Mitch Trubisky can help kind of develop Cam Ward a little bit. We'll see how that works out. Wayndale Robinson's kind of another guy. He's kind of in that Joseph Asai category where he has shown flashes, but he hasn't gotten all the way there yet. He hasn't, become a star, but he's got the potential to. So it'll be interesting to see what Wayndale Robinson is able to do with Cam Ward as quarterback. I would like to see them maybe, go after a running back here. There's not really any left, though. Kenneth Gainwell is going to the Buccaneers. Kenneth Walker is going to the Chiefs. So maybe that's something they're going to target in the draft. There's some decent running backs in the draft, and that's kind of what free agency will tell us more of, like who is out there that could be targeted. The other interesting thing to watch is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was tagged, but remember, it was not a franchise tag. He was given a transition tag, which means teams can still make offers to Daniel Jones, and the Colts get the opportunity to match it. It does not mean that he is for sure going to be an Indianapolis Colt this year, but Alec Pierce did say he was not signing until he knew who his quarterback was. So maybe there's something behind the scenes happening that Alec Pierce knows about that the rest of us don't know about yet. So that could be interesting. Of course, Alec Pierce could also, just be liking the money because that's a huge contract that he was able to get. Let's see what else we've got. Still Giants signing linebacker Tremaine Edmonds to a 3-year, $36 million deal. Ooh, we got another notification. Got another insider posting. I need the Bengals to do something. The Bengals haven't done anything. Cornerback Cordell Flott signs a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Titans, $32 million guaranteed. So the Titans continue to build up that defense. We'll expect to see more of that throughout the day. That's from Mike Garafolo, by the way. Oh, not yet. We almost had some breaking news. We don't have it yet, but we're on the edge here. One more somewhat big name running back who is nearing a deal with the team. CBS's free agent tracker is currently broken. I hope it's fixed now. Okay. Stephon Diggs is still though. It'll be interesting to see if the Titans bring back Chiga Conquo. He's a free agent tight end. See if they'll bring him back or if Dave Bellinger will take on a bigger role in the Titans offense now. Bobby Wagner, older player, former or reigning Walter Payton Man of the Year, 35 years old. He's available. Deebo Samuel. The Commanders have some big name free agents out there. Let's see here. Calais Campbell, 39 years old. He's available. So we'll see. Von Miller, again, Commanders. Jadeveon Clowney. We got some huge names out here that have still not been taken. The number 2 free agent, according to CBS Sports, Trey Hendrickson, is still available. Number 7, Odafe Owe is still available. And the rest are kind of going up quickly. Let's see here. Do. I'm like scanning the internet right now for any rumors, anything out there. I want to be the first to know about it. So obviously Mike Evans to the 49ers is huge. That's a big deal. He's got Brock Purdy throwing to him. He's got Christian McCaffrey as his running back. Big, big moves. He had a down season, his first down season in his career, really, where he just wasn't, things weren't working out due to injury, right? And so Mike Evans, being able to get a fresh start in San Francisco is going to be a lot of fun to witness. Very historic type of situation here. He's got a good team around him. Kyle Shanahan, I'm sure, has a plan to use him. Kyle Shanahan doesn't do stuff on offense without having a purpose behind it. And this gives Brock Purdy a large target downfield and a veteran presence in that wide receiver room. That's kind of the wide receiver room in San Francisco has been kind of weird because it's been good, but it hasn't been great. And it hasn't had like a superstar. And I think even though he's older, I think Mike Evans can bring that to San Francisco for the 49ers. It'll be in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have already kind of set up a replacement. They've already, brought in guys. They've got Amike Ibuka. They still have Godwin. They've got these guys already in place to replace him. Not that you're going to easily replace Mike Evans. He's a Hall of Famer, but they've got, at least in terms of the offensive scheme, they have guys there. Titans continue to sign people. They have signed cornerback Alante Taylor, who was with the Saints. He gets a 3-year deal worth $60 million, $42 million fully guaranteed, in a deal done by Trayvon Smith of Athletes First. That's being reported by Ian Rappaport. So Titans just continue to add people, add and add and add. And that shows they believe in not only Robert Saleh, but they believe in Cam Ward. They're being very aggressive in free agency. Day one, this is what teams in a rebuild do. This is what winning teams do, is they get aggressive in free agency. Yes. Boys and girls, children of all ages, it is my pleasure to announce that Brian Cook is signing a 3-year, $40.25 million deal with the Bengals. We got him, guys. Duke Tobin actually did something. Let's go. We got a safety. We got a good safety coming from a fantastic scheme. Oh my gosh, him with Jordan Battle is going to be so good. This was my, after Cam Curl got extended by the Rams, this was my, golden ticket here. If we can get Devin Lloyd as well now, I'll be ecstatic. This is insane. Woo! I didn't expect it to happen, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I had no faith in the Cincinnati Bengals front office to get that done. But that is a huge deal. Woohoo! Former Cincinnati Bearcat comes back home, comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. Huge move by the Bengals. Hopefully get someone back there to finally complement Jordan Battle. Yes, because, oh my gosh, I was high on Geno Stone, but Geno Stone just didn't work. I don't want to sit here and just bash Geno Stone. Let's move on. But huge deal. We got him. We got him, boys and girls. So Brian Cook, for those who don't know, had 52 combined tackles last season, and he had no interceptions. That's the one thing that I kind of wish he was better at, was creating turnovers. However, Jordan Battle's been pretty good at that. So I hopefully, that kind of balances out, or maybe he gets really good at it in Cincinnati. We don't know that. That's obviously speculative, but really where the Bengals needed help was in the run defense from the safeties and coverage, just overall coverage. And those are the two things Brian Cook does really well. Brian Cook was a top graded safety in terms of coverage, and he was above average when it came to run defense. So if he can just tackle, that's where we're at. That's what we need as a team. Like, where is the Bengals defense the weakest? Tackling, basic tackling. And it was awful from the safeties. Geno Stone and honestly Jordan Battle, I don't know why he does this. I've spoken on it before. Jordan Battle leads with his shoulder instead of just wrapping up players. He constantly is trying to hit stick players, which just creates problems because you don't complete the tackle and then you give up so much yards after catch. But we're not going to have that problem anymore. We got Brian Cook. Brian Cook is going to come in. He's going to teach this team how to tackle. He's going to teach this team how to win football games on defense. He's coming out of Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme. This is a fantastic move for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm hoping they are not done yet. I am in love with this signing. Thank you, Duke Tobin, for giving us something to root for once in our lives as Bengals fans. What's interesting, though, about this signing is Duke Tobin seemed to indicate that they were going to go all in on edge and the defensive line specifically. So it's interesting to me that his first signing of free agency, not counting Dalton Reisner, is a safety. And the Bengals have been linked to Caleb Downs. Obviously, with him being an Ohio State guy, a lot of Bengals fans really want Caleb Downs to come to Cincinnati. But I do think it's worth noting that the Bengals didn't sign a defensive lineman yet. They actually let Joseph Asai go. They let Trey Hendrickson go. So they've let two defensive linemen go after saying that they're going to be aggressive in free agency on that pass rush. And so I wonder who they're going to be targeting in the draft, because this would indicate, at least to me, that they don't think Caleb Downs will be there when it comes to draft night. And of course, we'll be live for that as well, as much as we can be. That'll kind of butt up against my work schedule a little bit, but we will see what that gets us. But right now, we're just celebrating that Brian Cook is a Cincinnati Bengal. So that deserves an Instagram post. We got plenty of Bengals fans who follow us on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram yet, it is nobuts_show. We appreciate everyone who supports us so much. This is a huge signing for Cincinnati. 3-year, $42.5 million deal. Yep. Love it. Love it. What do we think about this, chat? Tell me what you think. This is huge. I'm so glad they waited till I woke up too. I said I wanted to wake up to news that they had signed Devin Lloyd and Brian Cook, but I'm glad that I was awake for it so that I could react and see it naturally. That was beautiful. What a signing for the boys in stripes. We're gonna have some special guests from the Bengals as well. A bit different than what we normally do on this show as well. So I'll be recording with them on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. I think that's going to be a really interesting interview and cover some things that not a lot of other football YouTube channels cover. So make sure you're subscribed for that little surprise that I got coming for us here on No Butts About It. But right now, we're in celebratory mode. I wish I had some champagne. I wish I could be like doing that, but I don't have any right now. All I have is water. So that's what we're gonna have to deal with. Celebrate with the water. Woo! Stay hydrated, folks. What a day. What a day. Free agency. So what is 3-year 42.5 million? What is the math on that? I'm not great at math. So about 15 million, 14 million. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I like it. I think it's a good deal. He's going to be awesome. What the Bengals need is a guy who can complete tackles. That is it. If you do that at the safety position, you will be set. That is the bar. And I think Brian Cook can accomplish that. I think he can help elevate this defense. Hopefully, he starts creating some turnovers as well. But let's right now just start with being able to tackle. That's where we're at as a defense for the Cincinnati Bengals. So thank you, Brian Cook, for joining us. Welcome to the Cincinnati Bengals. We also have news that the Broncos are re-signing J.K. Dobbins. So J.K. Dobbins will be staying in Denver. Huge news for the Denver Broncos. I'm reading too many things. Big news. Lante Taylor's official contract is 3 years, $60 million, $42 million guaranteed. We've only been live for 30 minutes, folks, so we've already seen a ton of huge names getting signed. Let's see here. So Tremaine Edmonds got about 13 million a year. So that would put Devin Lloyd, I think, right about where I expected him to be. 3 years, about $18 million a year contract. I think that matches up with what I was expecting for the Devin Lloyd contract. Maybe a high $20 million, but I don't see it going beyond that. We'll see what we get out of Devin Lloyd here in a little bit. Do we have any talk? Is there any chatter about Devin Lloyd? Let's see if there's any rumors flying around, because he's really the next big name that I'm interested in. I'm barring like Trey Hendrickson coming back. Nick Cross is another name. Well, they just signed Brian Cook, so never mind. I'm not thinking. AJ Epinesa is still out there, though, defensive end for the Bills. He was kind of a rotating guy. Cam Jordan is also not going to be a Saint for the first time in his career. So there are some names out there at the defensive end position as well. I think Joe Burrow and Cameron Jordan have a relationship. So it'd be interesting to see if that kind of came to fruition. I don't know what kind of money Cam Jordan would want, because Cam Jordan is a fantastic pass rusher, obviously, but he's also older. And the Bengals haven't liked older players traditionally. So maybe a problem. Former Browns defensive end Cameron Thomas reached an agreement with the Falcons on a 1-year, $3.1 million deal. So we've got that out there. The Titans have just been continuously active, though. Marcus Mariota is re-signing with the Commanders on a 1-year, $11 million deal. Former Titan, but he's going back to the Commanders. obviously he was a great backup. They needed him a lot this year with Jaden Daniels getting hurt. So they paid him. He's one of the top backups in the NFL. It's good to have a guy like that behind you. Jaden Daniels has had some injury issues. So Marcus Mariota may see more playing time. We're not rooting for that, but that's just been the trend that we've been looking at. No real rumors about Devin Lloyd either, by the way. So we've got that right now. Everyone's just kind of celebrating the Brian Cook signing on Bengals X. This is just I don't think you understand, if you're not a Bengals fan, how unlikely it was that we got Brian Cook, because so many people were interested in him. The Bengals, Lindsey Patterson here just tweeted, "We are a big interested in team." And that's regarding the Bengals, 49ers, and Colts were interested in John Franklin Myers. And supposedly we were also interested in Max Crosby. So I don't know how interested we are in these players, or if we're just calling, kind of throwing out a non-realistic offer. But that's where we're at on the Bengals. And so getting Brian Cook is huge. I think Brian Cook. Let me look at the other safeties in free agency. I would say bar maybe Jaquan Brisker, but I would say that Brian Cook was the best available safety in this free agency class. And the Cincinnati Bengals got him. They paid him. They went and got someone on defense. That is huge for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Chris Vikings is always saying the Bengals don't do anything on defense, and he's not even here. Where are you at, Chris? I hope you're watching this back later and you're like, oh yeah, he got me. Shout out Chris though. He's good to the show. I just got to give him a hard time because he gives me one. I know One Bar and Lepagus are also one live streaming today, so hopefully they are able to bring in some people, because they've got a great channel. If you're a Vikings fan, make sure you're following the One Bar and Lepagus show. I love their content. Very, very nice guys. Been great to us. So right now, Marcus Mariota is the latest deal on the wire. Can we all just manifest the Devin Lloyd signing together? Can we do that? Do we think it'll work? We just leave him up on the screen. Maybe Devin Lloyd will come and sign to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Colts have been active. The Titans have been active. The Steelers have been active. The Ravens have been active. The Bengals are now in the running. Let's see what we've got here. The Lions have signed or have agreed to terms with veteran Larry Borum from the Dolphins. Okay, so the Lions have been also active on O-line. They've been trying to bring in some names after, Taylor Decker left. They got a center in Cade Mays. Cheers, Ronald Schilling. Cheers to you as well, Ronald. We're celebrating here on the channel. We don't have any champagne, but we got some nice H2O. Brian Cook is a Cincinnati Bengal, so that's what we're running with right now. Ronald, what are your thoughts today so far? What have we got? What's exciting you? Are you a Bengals fan as well? What team are you a fan of? Let's let's meet. Let's get to know each other. Bengals fan. So you're celebrating the Brian Cook. Did you? Well, I guess I don't know. Were you a Brian Cook fan? Did you want Brian Cook? Were you hoping for Brian Cook? Because I was big on the Brian Cook train. I think he's way better in coverage than what Geno Stone was, and he'll be a nice compliment to Jordan Battle. So what were your thoughts on this signing? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Let's see here. I liked Cook. What was interested in Fitzpatrick also was there were the numbers. So Cook got signed to. Let me pull it right back up here just so I'm accurate. 3 years, 42.5 million. So that's just under 15 million. Good signing for Duke Tobin. I think that's a solid deal for what Brian Cook brings to this team. I think he has a potential to bring leadership to the team. I think he has potential to bring way better coverage, tackling. Yeah, great deal. Like you said, I think it's good. Um, I don't actually remember what Minka. I've looked at so many contracts now today. What did Minka go for? Do we remember? Uh, Jets to acquire Minka Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins in trade, 3 year, 40 million. So a little less. But they also had to give up a 7th round pick. So really, it's the same amount. I get, depending on how you look at it. And Fitzpatrick is a little bit older. I also know we also know that Jamar Chase is not a fan of Minka Fitzpatrick. So that would have been interesting. I got Jamar Chase's jersey on right now, but that would have been an interesting kind of practice session. I think Minka Fitzpatrick and Jamar Chase. They've got that. Do I still have that photo saved? I used to have that photo saved here. I don't think I do. Of Jamar Chase flipping off Minka Fitzpatrick. So we'll see. I think I like the Brian Cook signing better just for so many reasons. Yeah, winning matters. Winning does matter, but what if they I like Brian Cook. I'm glad. I'm happy with Brian Cook. Let's not do the grass is always greener type thing. Let's just be happy with who we got. We got Cook. We got Cook. Cook is great. We're happy with Cook. Now let's go get Devin Lloyd, or let's go get Leo Chanel. Honestly, safety was the position I was like, we need this guy. This is the guy that I need. Linebacker, I would be ecstatic with Devin Lloyd. I would also be very happy with Leo Chanel, because Leo Chanel is a very versatile player. He's going to bring in, kind of a chip on his shoulder as well, because he's kind of been, behind the scenes in Kansas City, and coming to Cincinnati would allow him to step up next to Demetrius Knight Jr. I think you can have Demetrius Knight as a starter. I don't think Barrett Carter can be a starter right now. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of, you know, building this defense. And yeah, so Ronald said linebacker and trenches. So what's interesting to me is Duke Tobin said he wanted to build trenches. He wanted to build pass rush. That was his priority. Devin Lloyd is a very good pass rushing linebacker, but I don't know where they're going to go in the draft now because of this. Do they think Sonny Styles is going to be the only one there? And so maybe that's who they're planning on drafting at linebacker. If they brought in a safety at free agency, do you spend a first round pick on Caleb Towns? I don't know. I would probably lean no, but I'm not an expert. We're still kind of seeing where they go, seeing where they build. You don't want to go into the draft though with a ton of holes because of this reason. So honestly, having the depth may be a good thing. if they have a linebacker. Lots of big names still out there though, so let's not start playing doomer yet. Lots of very good names out there. You don't think Sonny will be available at 10? That's a possibility. I think Sonny, I think he could be there at 10. He had a great combine though, so that it's entirely possible that he isn't. Stan and Chuss are texting me now. Onyemata a Jet. I gotta look that up because I'm not familiar with that. He might have spelled it wrong. That might be my issue. They signed David Onyemata. Okay, he's just behind. Okay, thank you, Stan. But yeah, he's at work, so we'll cut him some slack. But yeah, David Onyemata has been signed to the New York Jets. The Jets have been making some moves. They got Joseph Asai. I like Joseph Asai. Right. No, I 100% agree with you, Ronald. You don't go into the draft with clear holes. The only exception to that rule is like quarterback, because you're not going to spend a ton of money on a high-end quarterback to draft a quarterback in the first round, right? And even then, we've recently seen a lot of teams, signing a veteran and then having someone there who kind of fills in for them. Drafted backwards. What do you mean by drafted backwards? I'm interested in that. I agree the draft wasn't great, but what do you mean by drafted backwards? I hope Shamar Stewart can get it in gear. I'm rooting for him. There are guys that I'm not a fan of that we drafted, but I still want them to do well. I don't know that the Bengals, barring like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I don't know that they've ever drafted the guy I wanted them to draft in the first round. And this year, there's so many great options that I don't know who I really want the Bengals to draft yet. And that's why I've kind of just been waiting for free agency to go to see where our biggest holes are. Because before I probably would have said Caleb Downs, but now I don't think that. I don't think Caleb Downs is the must draft player at 1. Needed 2 guards and a safety. They drafted very badly. As Nick Emanwari, and you draft night could have grabbed Watts round 2. Yeah, so okay, I see what you're saying. Here's my thing. Here's what I would have done. And maybe it's wrong, but I think, hindsight's 2020. They clearly decided they really needed a linebacker. And they drafted 2. I think they got scared in round 1 when Walter Nolan got taken and didn't know what to do. I would have taken Carson Schwessinger. And I know that he was mocked as a high round 2 pick. But if you take Schwessinger, you don't need to draft 2 linebackers. And I like Demetrius Knight. I think he's got potential. But then you could take a defensive end later. Or you could build differently. I think if you take Schwessinger in round 1, you alleviate a lot of your issues that you ran into in round 2 and round 4 when you felt like you had to take a linebacker. So yeah, I don't like hearing Geno Stone was your starter because they knew his play sucked the season before. Yeah, he wasn't fantastic. He was not great at all. Xavier Watts, I'm kind of surprised he didn't end up with the Bengals because of Al Golden, but Nick Emanwari is another one. I think, honestly, drafting Carson Schwessinger round 1 would have alleviated that and would have left you more open in round 2 to draft Xavier Watts or Nick Emanwari or whoever you wouldn't have been forced to draft a safety or a linebacker because Demetrius Knight was objectively a reach. Barrett Carter, if I'm remembering correctly, was also a reach. So you're reaching in these drafts. Dylan Fairchild, I think they ended up with a pretty good guy in round 3. I'm not mad with that pick. I know a lot of people wanted Tate Ratledge, but yeah, Zabel. Zabel's good. I don't know that he's that much better than Dylan Fairchild, though. However, they've only played for one season, so maybe things change. I really liked Schlesinger, though. I really, really, really liked Schlesinger. Like, it was to the point where I was like convincing Browns fans that Schlesinger was good because that were mad about the pick. So Schlesinger was just such a steal for the Browns, and they drafted so annoyingly well, but in Browns fashion, they screwed it up. So, I really liked Harold Fannin Jr. too. I was so mad that both Schlesinger and Harold Fannin Jr. went to the Browns. But, okay, he doesn't disagree with me for a second. We got it on tape. It'll be on the audio clip as well. Doesn't disagree with me for a second. I think it's not perfect, but it can be saved. And, hindsight's 2020 on a lot of these things as well. But I do think, I really think they got scared in that first round when Walter Nolan went a pick before them. Thanks a lot, Arizona Cardinals. We got some Arizona Cardinals fans who are fans of the show as well. So Silver Wolf, shout out Joe Camo of the Cardinal Rule. Twitter is quiet. Twitter is eerily quiet right now. I don't know if do you guys remember last year when Twitter went down right as free agency opened? That's a good point. I think Al Golden just really believed in Geno Stone. I think that's what it was because he always said super nice things about Geno Stone. And like beyond like just saying nice things about his player. And I won't lie, I liked Geno Stone when we signed him as a free agent, but he never got to that point. Malik Wright, who is a Bengals insider, said he's been talking to Trey's people all day, trying to see what the market for him is. Someone asked if it's a possibility for him to come back. You think that, but you think they know that he wasn't good, but he also they never seem to indicate that through any means of like trying to improve the team around him, and they kind of left Jordan Battle out to dry because of it. But I get what you're saying. I agree with you that they could have drafted better. It's unfortunate. So sometimes the Bengals are kind of in like a unique position where they simultaneously don't have enough scouts, but they also have too many cooks in the kitchen on draft night. I think they've got like Duke Tobin and Katie Blackburn and Mike Brown and Zach Taylor and Al Golden. Everyone's just kind of making decisions to on draft night when those decisions should have been made weeks in advance on through scouting reports and stuff like that is what it seems, because this isn't the first time that the Bengals have like made like a weird pick after someone who they were definitely expected to go for kind of just went away. We've seen that before, and so I think we need some people in the front office to kind of step back and let the guys who are paid to draft do the drafting. But obviously coaches should have their opinions heard. They should be able to put in their opinions, but do that weeks in advance. Don't do it on draft night. It should just be known who they want. And the GM should know that ahead of time. Or head of football operations or whatever Duke's title is. It's like Twitter is like really, 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 really quiet. Like really quiet, like silent. silent. Hey, shout out Daniel Popper. He pretty much nailed the comp value projection for Brian Cook. He said 3 years, 40 million, which we said he was a quarter of a million off. So good for him. He was $250,000 off. You know, maybe he needs to go on The Price is Right. That's impressive. I'm waiting for it to pop. Something big is gonna pop here. I got my Bengals have only grabbed Cook so far that I'm aware of, that I've been told about by Twitter or by people texting me. I've got a few people who said they may reach out if they hear something, but I haven't heard anything yet from any of them. Joseph Asai went to the Jets. Trey Hendrickson is still available. I don't know that Cam Taylor-Britt will be signed anywhere, but we'll see. But losing Joseph Asai, I think that one bothered me more than it did most people. But that contract was so big for him that I'm happy for him. $12 million a year is cheap for Asai. I thought that's higher than what I expected him to get. I did not expect Joseph Asai to get that much. I think he has a ton of potential. I really like him as a player. He never really got a chance. I could be talked into keeping him for that price as well. So it's just kind of what it is. Hopefully, I hope he does well for the Jets. I like Joseph Asai. We've got some fans here who are Jets fans, so I hope he works out for him because he's always been a hard worker, kind of unsung hero some nights, but we'll see. Okay. I don't know that it's cheap. I don't think it, but it's a solid deal. It's negotiable, I would say. I don't know that I would say that it's a cheap deal for him though. That's true. Yeah, he's young, never got a ton of playing time. He's kind of a giant question mark. So hopefully we see them go after another defensive player here. And that's where Leo Chenal would kind of help out. He kind of fills that Joseph Asai role well. Devin Lloyd would fill it really well because Devin Lloyd is a fantastic pass rushing linebacker. I think he was the top pass rush blitzer in the NFL last year. So bringing in Devin Lloyd would help alleviate that, but I don't know that they're going to do that. DT market might be too rich for the Bengals. They'll end up reaching for Woods or Banks at number 10 in the NFL draft. I don't mind Woods. I don't know that I want Banks. I don't know that I want Banks. I could be talked into Woods. But this is why you can't go into, we just talked about this. This is why you can't go into the draft with holes because you end up reaching for people like they did at linebacker. Oh, we've got a notification. Oh, dang it. It's just that Mike Evans is changing his jersey number. Well, I made this today and Mike Evans is changing his jersey number. He's been wearing number 13 all season. or all of his career at Texas A&M and in Tampa Bay, but that is worn by Mr. Brock Purdy, so he will be choosing a new number in San Francisco. That's our breaking news right now. It's been so long, and I made that clip this morning, and I really wanted to use it. So, give me Caden McDonald. I haven't looked into Caden McDonald a lot, so I'm going to be honest. I really don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I do like the idea of trading back if there's someone, because you could even theoretically trade back and still get Peter Woods or whoever you want. And then you have more picks, right? So will the Bengals do that? I don't know. Watch his tape. I will. Do I have a pen? I need a pen. Oh, I have a pencil. Okay, we have a pencil. Do I have a piece of paper? I don't know. I'll make a note on my laptop because I don't have paper. I'll watch his tape though. Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. Okay. I like his eye black. He's got the full mask, like kind of cool looking. The Packers are releasing two-time Pro Bowl center Elgton Jenkins. So that's some breaking news. So ESPN's getting tired of there not being a ton of news either, because they threw a breaking news thing on that as well. So I don't know that that's huge breaking news. Maybe it isn't. I'm not a Packers fan, but where is Caden McDonald currently projected to go? I guess. Let's see. His NFL comparison is DJ Reader, according to Lance Zierlein, so that's promising. I like that. I do like that a lot. More of an ooze rusher than a pocket collapser. Yeah, that sounds like DJ Reader. I could be talked into this. I like this. Will he be a first rounder though? We're learning. We're learning as we go. He's about my size. 6'2", 326. I'm a little bit lighter than that. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this guy because I like what I'm seeing here. 20 years old though. He'll be 21 in 3 days, but pretty young player as well. So yeah, I could be interested in him as well. So we had originally been told that the Jaguars were not going to be trading Brian Thomas Jr., but now Connor Hughes is saying, which Connor Hughes is a Jets and Giants beat reporter, and he is reporting that the Jaguars are entertaining offers for Brian Thomas Jr. So does that mean the Jets or the Giants are in on Brian Thomas Jr.? That could be interesting to see. Could you imagine like Garrett Wilson with Brian Thomas Jr.? That offense? I think Stan the Jet fan would like lose it. He'd probably be convinced that they're going to win the Super Bowl. We have to figure out who their quarterback is though first. Will it be Kyler Murray? Will it be someone else? Malik Willis is already off the board. He's down in Miami now. There's also rumors that Carson Wentz could go to the New York Jets. So lots of names kind of in the pool for the New York Jets. Hey, we got one. We got one, boys and girls. We got a signing. I'm playing it. The Cincinnati Bengals have signed edge Boye Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks. So I don't have the contract yet. Let's wait a minute. It should be coming in a little bit. But this is another guy who isn't a huge name, not a big name in free agency, but I think could be could be big for the Bengals. He could, and we do know that the Bengals were going to go after quantity, not quality as much. Hopefully that doesn't mean they avoid Devin Lloyd, but this is a big signing. This I would say is the Joseph Asai replacement. We'll see what the contract is like, but that would be where I would kind of put Boye right now. He had 11 tackles for the Seahawks in 2025. He had 2 sacks. But in 2024, he had 25 combined tackles with 6 sacks. 2023, he had 9 sacks. So he's very good at getting sacks. That's his game. Let's see what the contract is. 3 years, $60 million deal. So not bad. 20 million a year. I'm not super high on Mafe, but it's something. It's something. They're doing something, right? Okay. Not happy one bit about this. Ronald is not happy about this move. I'm just happy they did something. But Ronald, why aren't you happy with the Boye Mafe signing? Rather have kept Osai. Yeah, but hey, I'm not saying this is going to happen. But remember Trey Hendrickson? Remember when Trey Hendrickson came in and everyone was mad that Carl Lawson left, and we were all like, "Oh, Carl Lawson's gonna, go and be amazing somewhere else. Trey Hendrickson sucks." Da, 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 da. And then Trey Hendrickson was awesome, and Carl Lawson just kind of fell off. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to be optimistic here, but Lawson did not always suck. Lawson was always not always, but he had some good years with the Bengals. He definitely wasn't, amazing, but he had some good years. The Cowboys are nearing a deal with Jalen Thompson. So safety for the Cardinals. That'd be a good addition for them. Jane Slater is who broke that news. I see the concern. I get the worry of overreaching here, but what were his? Do we know what his pass rush grades were last year? I know that his stat line obviously wasn't the most impressive, but we needed guys who could create sacks, and he seems to do pretty good at that. Especially with Trey Hendrickson being gone. So run defense, he's above average. Overall grade, he's above average. He's pretty much just above average on everything. So not amazing. Rather have had Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips got what was his contract? His contract was huge. I don't know who you're talking about from Atlanta, but oh, we've got another big signing here, not for the Bengals, but Odafe Owe from the Chargers, who they were trying to re-sign, has agreed to a 4-year, $100 million deal, including $68 million guaranteed with the Washington Commanders. So that is a name that we were targeting. 25 million, little higher than Boye. Oh, at BK. Yeah. Okay. I get it. I understand wanting, I would have loved Odafe Owe. 25 million, I think, is a little rich for me. But I'm glad that he was able to get his money. Hopefully he is able to do something, and hopefully maybe they're saving some money for a Devin Lloyd type signing, right? Devin Lloyd type. I'm gonna keep trying to manifest back to Devin Lloyd. All roads lead to Devin Lloyd on No Buts About It. Chuss and Stan aren't here to stop me, so I can just kind of say whatever I want. But Odafe Owe going to the Commanders. That's a good signing. They needed pass rush, especially with Bobby Wagner and Von Miller both leaving. So that's a good signing for them. The Boye Mafe, signing. Hopefully that's the Joseph Asai replacement. Hopefully that's not the big ticket. No, I hope they're viewing that as a depth signing. I don't know what our cap looks like right now either, though. So I'm bad at math. So I'm not someone who I let other people do the cap calculations for me, and then I just need bodies in Cincinnati. And that's kind of my point with Boye. I'm hoping that he is just depth. Hopefully Shamar Stewart takes a step forward. Miles Murphy looked really good at the end of last year. Hopefully he's able to, continue to jump. We've seen defensive end is a position that gets written off very quickly, but you need a ton of reps to get good. I mean, let's look at Trayvon Walker. He was the first overall pick, and he took like a season or two to get, kind of to where he's at. Big money for depth. I agree. Ronald, I'm trying to justify this, but Boye Mafe, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. There are smarter people than me in the world. Let's see what these smarter people are saying. Here's a little positive from Paul Dehner Jr. about Brian Cook, and Charlie Goldsmith also. Brian Cook has only missed 11 tackles over the past 2 seasons. So that's a huge upgrade from Geno Stone. May finally have gotten that Jesse Bates replacement. Joe Goodberry has already got his Boye Mafe film up and running. Yeah, I agree, but Jalen Phillips, what was that contract? Jalen Phillips got paid so much. He got paid like $30 million a year, I think. Like he's got some injury problems. So that is he was in my post. Let's see. Jalen Phillips. Where did he sign? He signed with the Panthers, right? Okay. Kingsley Enigbare would have been a nice deal at 1 year, $10 million. He went to the Jets as well. I would have been interested in Alex Anzalone. 2 years, $17 million. Get us a leader on defense. He went to the Buccaneers, which that's kind of an interesting signing because the thing we've been talking about with the Buccaneers is how they don't really have any young players, or they have a ton of young players and they have a ton of really old players, but they don't really have middle people. Yeah, so Jalen Phillips got 4 years, $120 million with the Panthers. I don't know that I would have liked that, to be honest with you. I like Jalen Phillips as a player when he's healthy, but I don't want to pay a guy $30 million to not be healthy. So I'd be interested to see what Boye's guarantees are like. That's important as well in this deal. Alex Anzalone, 2 years, $17 million. That's a steal in my opinion. I know that Lions fans were kind of split on bringing him back or not, and I think I would have brought him back for that price, but he's a Buccaneer now. Let's make our Boye Mafe post real quick. And Rich or Ronald, the other thing is like last year, the Bengals didn't do like anything on day one. It felt like they may have signed like a depth guy, but I don't know. I felt like they didn't do anything. So the fact that they're actually doing something that's helpful. Cam Sample contract is going to fill out this defensive end core for Cincinnati. Just have a feeling. Yeah, that's a fair worry. I wouldn't hate bringing Cam Sample back, but that cannot be the final move. You've got to do something else at pass rush. I'm just glad nothing. Just Slayton. Is BJ Hill a free agent? No, BJ Hill is through 2027. So they still have BJ Hill. That's what I thought. So they have more than just Slayton. And we've got some names. We got some names. The Cowboys have agreed to a 3-year deal with safety Jalen Thompson. So that's huge for the Cowboys. You would have cut BJ Hill? I don't know that I would have cut BJ Hill. Or Slayton. I would have cut Slayton and Burks. Yeah, okay. If that's I wouldn't have cut BJ Hill, but I could cut Slayton, I think. But Slayton was like quietly not terrible. I'm with you. I often forgot TJ Slayton was on the team, but if you look at his stats, he had actually better stats than DJ Reader did when DJ Reader was with the Bengals at times. So that's hard to argue, I guess, but I do understand why you would cut him. I forgot he existed at times. So Oren Burks did not do anything for this team. And whenever people were talking about like I would say we need a veteran linebacker, and they'd be like, we have Oren Burks, and he didn't do anything. I would have never gave Hill a 3-year deal over Trey. I don't know. What was BJ Hill's contract? $33 million. Is that? Yeah, I guess. Hill was coming off of a good year too. Like it's and obviously Trey was as well, but it's I don't know. The Bengals, they like age. Age is a huge factor for them. And I think BJ Hill is a little younger than Trey Hendrickson. I can't remember for certain. No, they're about the same age. So I don't know. I can't defend it. I don't know. I don't know these things. I try to memorize all this stuff, but there's so many numbers involved. We've got some comp picks, handing out 33 picks to 15 clubs. So round 3, Minnesota will get a round 3 pick. Philadelphia gets a round 3 pick. The Steelers get a round 3 pick. And then the Jaguars will get one from the Lions in round 3. Round 4 is 49ers, Raiders, Steelers again, Saints, Eagles, 2 49ers, and the Jets. Round 5 is Ravens twice, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Cowboys again, and then the Lions. 6 is Steelers, Eagles, Steelers. And then finally in round 7, we've got the Colts, the Ravens twice, the Rams twice, the Colts again, the Packers, and then 2 Denver picks. So lots of comp picks. Bengals don't get any as of now. The Colts get some. Steelers get some. Vikings get some. Jets get quite a few, it looks like. So those are your comp picks for the 2026 draft. Formula is based on net free agent losses from last season. So this. Who do I like at pick 4? At pick 10, I like honestly Sonny Styles, because I think Sonny Styles will be there right now. And if we don't have Devin Lloyd, I get that you don't want three, um, kind of young linebackers, but I think Sonny Styles is really good. Oh, 41. Uh, trying to think back to my mock drafts that I've done. Well, Brian, I was drafting a safety. I had been drafting Dynaman out of Oregon, and then the safety from Toledo, whose name is escaping me right now. I had been putting them there, but now that we have Brian Cook, I don't need to do that as much anymore. I suppose you could still theoretically do it. But I would say Sonny Styles at 10, and then 41 I would have to look again. Maybe guard, because we are, or maybe a left tackle if there's a good left tackle there, because Orlando Brown Jr. is older. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. See, this is the hard part, because I would have thought, based on what Duke said, we would be looking for safety come the draft. And now everything's flipped. I would still. The problem is Thieneman had a fantastic combine. He was gonna be there in round 2, and then he looked awesome in the combine. So now he's probably gonna go in round 1. I really liked him though. DT or OT, yeah. We need. I think we're going to need a left tackle sooner than a lot of people want to admit to us needing a left tackle, and I don't want to pay the left tackle free agency premium. So, yeah. I could see left tackle being. Warren is good too. Yeah, this is a really good draft to need defensive players. I will get this Edge announcement, this Boye Mafe announcement up if it is the last thing I do. It's hard to talk and type at the same time. Oh, so Ian Ocker, I'm the anchor, whatever his or Monroe Freeling, I assume is who you're talking about, the guy from Georgia. I think they're both first rounders. Maybe they fall, crazy stuff happens on draft night. That's why we love it. But I think both of them probably go in the first round. This isn't a great draft for tackles in terms of like getting an elite tackle. There are some guys you could get who will be playable, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't like to make strong stances about the draft until we get to, kind of a better idea of what's happening in free agency. Who is going to be on the Bengals in 3 days? We don't know. Hopefully it's Devin Lloyd. Twitter's quiet again, other than the comp picks. You know what's sad is I've had this Michael Pittman Jr. trading card with an autograph on it, like on display up in my bedroom for a year or two now, and now like it's tainted. It's tainted by him going to the Steelers. So now I'll have to put that away. I still like Michael Pittman Jr., but I can't be rooting for him. Same with Max Crosby. I hope that the Chiefs ended up overpaying for Kenneth Walker, but he's a really good player. So Let's see here. Who else do we got? Jalen Thompson to the Cowboys. I'm with you. I'm with you on trading back. I agree. I think that could be the way to go. If Sonny Styles isn't there, I'd be down with that. It's quiet again. It's all quiet out on the Western Front. Last time it was quiet, we got a Bengals signing. Do we get another Bengals signing here? Devin Lloyd is still on the board. Trey Hendrickson is still on the board. Um, let's see who else. Let's look at our free agency tracker. Trey Hendrickson, Kyler Murray is still out there. Devin Lloyd, like I just said, Jaquan Brisker. It's another big name still out there. Tariq Woolen, Nick Cross. Got some big names out here. Leo Chanel is another guy we've been watching. I really wish Yoshi would like be more reliable. That would make a lot of things easier if we could rely on him more because I really like him. He seems like a great guy, but he's had too many drops in big moments, unfortunately. Let's see. Just missed on JFM to the Titans. Yeah, what okay, let's look back at that. What was because we talked about that. I don't know if you were in here yet, Ronald. We did discuss that. What was that contract? Um it's buried now, but Cincinnati was out big. That's what Lindsay Patterson said. I don't know if you follow her on Twitter or X, but she said like the Bengals are a big interested in team because we were also supposedly interested in Max Crosby, and Jamar Chase seemed to kind of confirm that on his stream. So okay, you got news, or you just got news about John Franklin Myers? What do you got something for us? Do I need to play the breaking news clip? You let me know. Oh, okay. Dude, I got so hyped up. I was- no. What do we got? No, why are we saying no? What's no? My Twitter isn't loading. I've got Kate Otten to the Bucks. That's all I've got. Were we in on Kate Otten? He resigned. Type faster, Richard or Ronald. I keep calling you Richard. I don't know why. He just said no. Oh, no news. No new news. Everything is slow. Yes. Okay. Two heart attacks back to back from Ronald. He's trying to kill me on stream. I was like, no one's posting anything. What was I even? I thought Devin Lloyd got signed to the Steelers or something, and I was gonna be so mad. That would. Oh boy. Uh. That would have been cruel. Yeah, it would have been Ronald. That would have. I've already had to deal with Michael Pittman Jr. going to the Steelers, Max Crosby going to the Ravens. It's been a rough week. So that would have. Oh wow. Okay. We got some breaking news here. Not Bengals related, but we got some breaking news. Where's my clip? There we go. Former Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is planning to sign a one-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. And as Adam Schefter highlighted here, that will give the Falcons two left-handed quarterbacks. So kind of interesting. So what do we think about, do we think Tua is going to be the starter in, well, I guess Michael Penix Jr. is still recovering, isn't he? So we know that. But is he going to end up beating out Michael Penix Jr. for that starting spot once Michael Penix Jr. is healthy? That's something to keep an eye on. I Tua's I don't think I think Tua's a little overhyped, but also simultaneously overhated. Um, I don't know. He's shown some good things. 1 year deal. I'd say we don't have the numbers yet, but say it's a prove it deal. I'm okay with that. Well, I think the contract will tell us how much they view him as a starter. Get this Jalen Thompson post up real quick, and then we'll talk about Tua. Let's see here. We got another notification. Quiddy Pay, former Colt, is signing a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Raiders. Kind of interesting. Quiddy Pay isn't someone I really expected the Colts to bring back. He didn't. He was kind of a letdown, I think, in draft. Hopefully, he has a better time in Las Vegas. But right now, the big story is Tua Tagovailoa. Tua turn the ball over. Do we got thoughts on Tua? I I think he's going to end up just being the backup there because they invested a first round pick in Michael Penix Jr. And if he comes back from injury and he's okay, I think you've got to let him get some playing time in. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens. I think it's funny that Adam left the detail of them both being left-handed quarterbacks in there. They got Drake London. Kyle Pitts is on the franchise tag, so he'll have some weapons. Maybe not to the degree that he necessarily had in Miami with what's his name, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but he had something. Still Quiddy Pay. Man, he got 32 million guaranteed though. Congrats, Quiddy Pay. DJ Reader is still available, I believe. Sheldon Rankins, is he still under contract or is he a free agent? Sheldon Rankins is on a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Texans, according to my chart here. DJ Reader is still available, though. Sheldon Rankins, I have mixed feelings about Sheldon Rankins because I was so happy with that signing. And then I know he couldn't control what happened. It just sucked that it happened. And then he went and balled out again with the Texans. So it was kind of like that James Harrison year where he kind of played meh, but then went back to the Steelers, if I'm remembering correctly, and played really well. But obviously, illness he can't control. But it's like, come on, dude. Like, I saw him making plays, and I was like, couldn't you do that for us? But DJ Reader is still out there. Quiddy pay 3-year, $48 million. So what's that work out to? 48 divided by 3. 16. Yeah, that might be a good deal. That might be a really good deal if Boye Mafe got 20. Yeah, he was fantastic on the Texans. I thought he was going to be fantastic for us, and then he was fantastic for the Texans again. So we'll see. I don't know if we burn the bridge with DJ Reader or not. I don't know if he would be open to coming back. I know in the moment he wasn't super happy with how things worked out, but took a year or two to kind of let some steam off, and hopefully maybe he's open to coming back. Okay, he's a backup. He's granted the okay. Well, I guess the Dolphins still owe him like $99 million, but he agreed to a 1-year, $1.3 million deal. So Tua's gonna have like a fantastic year in Atlanta, and then get signed to like some huge veteran deal and just like return to earth or something. I can already see that happening. But he's making over $1 million, over $100 million the next 2 years. So, good for him, I guess. Vet minimum for Tua. We're going to expect a similar contract out of Kyler Murray, who's also owed quite a bit of money by the Arizona Cardinals. And that takes another quarterback off the board for the New York Jets and for the the Arizona Cardinals, who still need a quarterback. Yeah, it's a business. Pratt leaving I think Pratt leaving was a little bit different than DJ Reader. Obviously, Hendrickson was the big one who left in kind of a huff. I don't think the Bengals are great at communicating either, which certainly doesn't help. I think they have a tendency to string players along. But I'm not in that office, so I don't know. I do not know. But that would not shock me based on what we've seen and heard from players like Andrew Whitworth in the past. Dirty not needed. Who are we calling dirty? Quiddy Pay? I don't think Quiddy Pay is dirty. I'm like, whenever I'm live streaming, I'm in a stream of consciousness, so I'm just kind of saying whatever comes into my mind. So if you're commenting on something, I may not even realize I said it. to a 3-year. Who no, some players get trio. Oh, yeah. We don't need to I get what you're saying. I don't like how the Bengals have handled some situations. Like I hated how they handled Logan Wilson. Um, I thought it was pretty disrespectful, but yeah, it's a business. Um, it was just a really weird how they went about it. But I don't think it's Zach. I mean, Zach takes a ton of the flack for it, but it seems like the players do genuinely like playing for Zach Taylor. So I don't think he is the major issue here. I think it's definitely like Katie and Duke right now. Let's do a quick recap of what the Raiders have done in free agency. Center Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, $81 million. I really liked that move. Wide receiver Jalen Naylor, 3 years, $35 million. Getting a weapon for Fernando. Quiddy Pay, 3-year, $48 million. Cornerback Eric Stokes re-signed with them for 3 years, $30 million. And they traded for Taron Johnson, which Taron Johnson was supposed to be released by the Buffalo Bills. Very good corner. So they got him on a deal, and he's heading to Las Vegas now. Quite the weather change, I would say. Quite the weather change. So Tua Tagovailoa is a Falcon. 1 year, $1.3 million deal. He'll probably start for the first few games of the season while Michael Penix Jr. recovers from injury. And then we'll see where he goes from there. Um, Gonna get a bunch of notifications about Tua now. So, Ronald, here's some other stats from Andrew Russell about Boye Mafe. Uh, he tweeted, Bengals are banking on a breakout from Boye Mafe, just like they did Trey Hendrickson. When Hendrickson came on board in Cincinnati, he owned a career 10.2% win rate, 113 pressures, and 21 sacks. Mafe has an 11% win rate, 161 pressures, and 20 sacks. So Mafe coming into Cincinnati has a better stat line currently than what Hendrickson did coming into Cincinnati. So hopefully we see this we see him as the new Hendrickson. I know you're not a huge fan of the trade or the signing, but hopefully his athleticism, his explosiveness, it kind of transfers and we get another breakout from him. That's kind of what we're going to get with the Bengals is hope. Let's see here. Oh, we've got it's being reported that for Devin Lloyd, it's between the Panthers and the Bengals. Come on. Come on, Duke. Come on, Duke. Let's get us some Devin Lloyd. Brees Hall said, "We sure got a lot of money in Florham Park. All these contracts, dude, signing. I don't know if that sounds like he's a little upset. He's on that franchise tag, but we'll see." I need Devin Lloyd right now. There's currently an online recruitment to get DJ Reader to come back to Cincinnati. The Browns are reportedly doing their homework on Henry Ruggs, who is eligible for parole on August 5th. Oh, we got something. Gardner Minshew to sign a 1-year, $8.25 million deal with the Cardinals. So sounds like that's their bridge guy. Maybe they draft a guy. Maybe they wait a year to draft a guy. But Gardner Minshew will be the quarterback in, or at least the backup, possibly behind Jacoby Brissett in Arizona. So the Cardinals have gotten their guy. He looked decent when he's had to come in as a backup. Last time we really saw him get significant playing time was with the Indianapolis Colts, and he looked good. He's looked good with the Chiefs, and now he's going to potentially get a chance to start for Mike LaFleur and the Arizona Cardinals. He's going to have Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to have some good players over there in Arizona, and a great offensive mind as well as his coach. So very, very good signing. Good deal, I think, for what we're kind of expecting out of Gardner Minshew this season. So Gardner Minshew is another quarterback off the board. Cardinals have their guy. Now we're just waiting on the Jets. The Jets kind of got, Dante Moore decided to not go into the draft. I think that was the right decision for him. But the Jets are still kind of looking for their quarterback after Justin Fields didn't work out. We'll see what they decide to do. Let's see here. Gardner Minshew. I honestly kind of forgotten about Gardner Minshew, but it's a good signing. It'll be interesting to see what is Silver Wolf in here. Silver Wolf's not in here yet. Hopefully Silver Wolf comes in here a little bit later before we have to end, and then maybe we can get a Cardinals fan's opinion, or Joe will hop in or something. But right now, it's just small, short little deal. I tell you what's going to happen, and I say this every time because it's true. I'm going to log off here, and what's inevitably going to happen is there's going to be a huge signing. I can go for about 30 more minutes today. I do have something I got to do later tonight, so I can't stay super long, but we'll be back tomorrow doing some free agency stuff. Let's see. We're all hanging out. Got another notification. Oh. Come on, come on, come on. One more. Give me one more big signing, Bengals. You know who we want. You know who we want. Just give me one more big signing. Do not let the Panthers get both Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd. Come on. Come on, Duke. Let's make these haters shut up. I'll shut up. Just give me something. Come on. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Hayden Hurst is retiring. That's something, former Bengal. Come on. One more big deal. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's go out with a bang. I like the Brian Cook signing. Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful for the Brian Cook signing. But we got more holes to fill. Let's keep it up. Keep it up. Come on, boys and girls. All of y'all pray. That is not new information, Adam Schefter. We knew that hours ago. Adam, they just tweeted offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil to 2-year, $60.2 million extension. We've known that. That is not new. We want some new info. Okay. I need to go refill my water. I'm gonna take a break here and we're gonna finish out these last 30 minutes extra strong, okay? Uh let's just pray and hope, right? Pray, hope, and don't worry. That's what Padre Pio said. We are back. We're back and better than ever. Come on, boys and girls. Tim Settle, 3-year, $24 million deal to the Commanders. That's bringing back a familiar face. Another defensive tackle off the board. Come on. We got DJ Reader still out there. Jonathan Allen is still out there. We've already signed one edge. Maybe we do another. Ebikite is still out there. That's someone who Ronald said he was interested in at least. Quay Walker, the linebacker position. Jadeveon Clowney is an edge. We've got some big names out there. Chaseon is the guy I said I wanted or would be interested in, I should say. The Bengals still have a chance to make a late move here. Make us happy before we end stream. Hopefully they do that. What other teams do we got in the chat right now? I see there's quite a few people here. Y'all are being quiet. Let's chat. Let's see. Who do we got? Tell me what you want to see. Let's all help each other out. Tim Settles, 3-year, $25.5 million deal with the Commanders. How old is Tim Settle now? He is 28 years old. So that I think may help out with the DJ Reader deal. Kind of sets the market for that. DJ Reader's obviously older. I think they probably. What was Tim Settle's production like last year? He's a name I recognize, not someone I'm super familiar with. Let's see. He had 15 tackles, and no one sack. So I think that should help with DJ Reader. That should help with the DJ Reader. Let's manifest this stuff. Let's get some good free agency players. It's nice being able to be happy about NFL free agency on day one with the Bengals. Usually I'm not happy with them at all. It's been a while. It's been a really long time. Probably that Super Bowl year, like 2021-ish, is the last time I was happy with the Bengals free agency. And I'm not all the way there yet. Not all the way there yet, but I'm close. Okay, so we do have an update, though. Gardner Minshew is going to be the backup to Jacoby Brissett. So that has been confirmed. So the Gardner Minshew was just a backup signing. So that's interesting. Cardinals are paying more for their backup than the Falcons are paying for their week 1 starter. Because the Dolphins are paying the Falcons to have their starter. Let's see. Just got a text. Not anything too exciting. No, just Tim Settle. Just Tim Settle again. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us out. We're going to be active the next 4 days. This is a big content week for us. We're going to be having all sorts of stuff coming out. I got an interview coming up on Thursday that I think will be fun. Kind of show a different side of the game that we don't normally think about. So that is something to think about. Something to think about. We literally try. I try to put out as much as I can. I'm a third shift worker. Chus is super busy. Stan's been super busy. We try to do as much as we can, and we appreciate all your support and helping us towards this journey of making this into a full time job. That's kind of the goal here. But any support you can give helps. Even just coming and hanging out here during the live streams is a big help. So we appreciate all of you who have done that. Let's see. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully with more big signings. And I'll be here Wednesday as well. I may have some special guests. I put out some feelers. A lot of our guys we collab with though are also doing their own things. Or just busy this week. So we'll see where the road takes us. Leo Chenal would also be if we get Leo Chenal or Devin Lloyd, this has potential to be the best draft class since 2021. This draft class could be awesome. We got a notification from NFL. Center Austin Schlottman is signing a 1-year deal with the Titans. Not what we're looking for. Still report it. Corner D. Alford is planning to sign with the Bills for 3 years, worth up to $21 million, with $10.12 million guaranteed. Still not what we're looking for. Come on. I want it. I want it so bad. I'm tired of losing. Tired of losing. We should not have lost that Patriots in there. We shouldn't have lost the Patriots game. We definitely shouldn't have lost the Jets or the Bears games last year, though. And so much of that was because of defense. And hopefully bringing in Brian Cook is going to help that. But it's not enough. He can't do it all on his own. Let's bring in Devin Lloyd, Leo Chenal. Let's manifest together. Who do we got in the chat? I see you guys are all lurking. I see a bunch of you, but you're not saying nothing. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about today's first day of free agency? Come on, let's get. What do we got? Jermaine Illuminor has re-signed with the Giants on a 3-year, $39 million deal. Remember a few years ago when the Bengals, we all wanted the Bengals to sign him. Was that like last year or was that 2 years ago? I don't know. He let us on. I thought for sure he was coming to the Bengals. He did not though. Oh, good for him. Good for him. John Harbaugh's been active today. Been very busy. Where did my water bottle? I lost my water. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's go another 15 minutes. And then hopefully something happens in that 15 minutes. What's probably going to happen is something's going to happen in the 16th minute. Something big. I'm telling you, it just happens all the time. Okay, guys. What's our big signing of the day? For me, it's Brian Cook right now. That's my highlight. Love it. Signing of the day. Alec Pierce is another big one for the Colts. Getting him. That's huge. Michael Pittman Jr. traded away though, so that hurts. Hopefully they keep Daniel Jones too, which is not something I would have thought I would have been saying 2 years ago, but that's where we're at. Trevor Lawrence wished his former college teammate and pro teammate good luck in New Orleans. They were both at Clemson together, and then we're both obviously with the Jaguars together till this year. So Travis Etienne is heading down to New Orleans. Let's see. We keep talking. Let's do another quick recap of who is available. The top 100 free agents. So number 2, Trey Hendrickson, available. 11, Kyler Murray. Devin Lloyd, 13. Jaquan Brisker, 17. Rasheed Walker, 20. Tariq Woolen, 22. Nick Cross, 26. Romeo Dobbs, 27. Leo Chanel, 29. Braxton Jones, 30. Elijah Vera Tucker, 31. Jawan Jennings, 34. Nakobe Dean, 35. That could be a sneaky signing for the Bengals as well. 37, Joey Bosa. 41 through 48 are all still available. That's Rashid Shaheed, Oli Gilman, Bobby Wagner, Stephon Diggs, Chiga Kwanko. Kwity Paye is not available. He just hasn't been updated. He's 46. Caden Ellis and Joel Bitonio. 51, Reed Blankenship. 53, Debo Samuel. 55, Jalen Hawkins. Kevin Byard at 58. Nashawn Wright, 62. Calais Campbell, 63. Chase Young, 64. Von Miller, 67. Dallas Goedert, 69. Sebastian Joseph Day, 70. Jadeveon Clowney, 71. Quay Walker, 72. Another sneaky signing the Bengals go after. Rasul Douglas, 74. Aaron Rodgers, 75. He may be retiring. We don't know because it's Aaron Rodgers. 76 is Cameron Jordan. 78, Keenan Allen. Travis Kelce's at 79. I believe he's returning to the Chiefs. Jonah Williams, 81. Aaron Jones, 82. Dylan Parham, 83. Rico Dowdle, 84, coming off a good year with the Panthers. Isaac Somalu is 86. Ebikite is 87. Braden Smith, 88. Njoku, 89. Matt Milano 91, Wyatt Teller 93, Jonathan Allen 94, Rashad White 95, Jake Martin 96, DJ Reader 97. So that is who is still available in CBS Sports Top 100 listing. If you heard a name there you like, Raider or what is happening? Now okay. Why did they type that? So we talked about Kwity Paye earlier. The NFL official account just tweeted the Raiders are signing pass rusher Kwity Paye to a deal worth $16 million per year. No one types these contracts out like that. But okay. Alex Singleton is re-signing with the Broncos on a 2-year, $15.5 million deal, according to Zach Stevens. So we've got that. One other linebacker off the board. I think Joe needs to make some phone calls. Joe Burrow needs to make a phone call to either Duke or Devin or someone. Come on. 12 minutes. And I'll be making some videos about some of these free agents, I'm sure, as well, specifically like the Bengals ones. Chiefs are giving tight end Travis Kelce a 1-year, $12 million deal. So he is officially not retiring. He is returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was rumored he was going to go somewhere else. That didn't really make much sense to me, but it was rumored. And so Travis Kelce will not be retiring. He will not be playing for a different team. He's going to stay in Kansas City with his buddy Patrick Mahomes, and he'll play at least one more season with the team. So that's our breaking news. Get that up on the interwebs. Oh, I accidentally typed signing with Bengals. Could you imagine if that happened? If Travis Kelce came to the Bengals? That'd be crazy. No, he is returning to the Chiefs. That's funny. $12 million deal for Travis Kelce. Run it back, I guess. The Chiefs are going to be interesting this year. They struggled last year, and now they've lost a ton of people on defense as well. So it'll be kind of. They lost Brian Cook. They lost Trent McDuffie. They lost Jalen Watson. Chris Jones has kind of struggled last year. They might be losing Leo Chenal. So it'll be interesting to see how they rebuild, how effectively they're able to rebuild. I mean, obviously getting Kenneth Walker is huge, and then you have Patrick Mahomes, so that's helpful. But still, look at the jersey I'm wearing. I know that offense isn't everything. So we got 8 minutes here. We got 8 minutes for Devin Lloyd to sign with the Bengals or Leo Chenal. If Devin Lloyd signs with the Bengals in the next 8 minutes, I will give away a Devin Lloyd jersey on this channel. If that happens, he has to resign. It has to be announced by 5:30 today. That's how much I want this. We haven't done a giveaway in a while either, so that's something we can do. I hope we got a notification. No, just another Travis Kelce post. We'll see here. Let's see. What do we got? Any more Twitter updates on Devin Lloyd? Any rumors going around? Apparently, Saints are also in on Devin Lloyd. Broncos are out on Devin Lloyd. Come on, Devin Lloyd. We are manifesting Devin Lloyd here in the next 6 minutes. If Devin Lloyd gets signed in the next 6 minutes, we're giving away a jersey. So let's all root for it. I have to figure out how to give away a jersey. But we'll do it. I will do the research and we will get it done if that happens. Come on. Both Leo Chenal and Devin Lloyd are going to like. Come on. I want this so bad for all of us. I think the Broncos re-signing Alex Singleton tells me they're out on Devin Lloyd. That's what I'm going based off of. Come on. Come on. I'm not seeing any rumors about Devin Lloyd. Just a bunch of people who want Devin Lloyd. We want him more. Let's see what Leo Chanel is up to. A lot of people want Devin Lloyd or Leo Chanel, so they got to get one or the other. Come on. It's quiet. They're tweeting about like Ian Rappaport's tweeting about the Ravens 2022 draft class and their contract extensions, which they have close to 300 million. Kyle Hamilton has 100 million by himself. Then Tyler Linderbaum has 81 million. So after that, it's pretty easy to get there. Come on. Well, let's wrap up here. Thank you everyone who did join the live stream. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Same thing, talking about what's going on, reacting to what's going on. I appreciate everyone who stopped in. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk about Devin Lloyd to the Bengals tomorrow. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe, like, share your comments. We'll talk about them tomorrow if we have to. Let me know who you want your team to sign. As always, I appreciate everyone who stops by. And until next time, go do something nice for someone.